So I think that he might play Tommy. I think Tommy just follows his gut so much that he's got such a spider sense of what could possibly be happening. So I think that I think you're right, that tension right there, no matter how close they get together, is one of them truly going to trust the other one at this point.
Now, in today's breakdown, we are going to be going through the major question that involves Tommy and Tariq. What happens next in Power Legacy, which does sound as if it will be back in New York. For those who haven't seen my previous breakdown, I would highly recommend giving it a watch and then coming back to this one, because that's where we went through all the burning questions that still linger around at the end of Force, with this being the major one. There's a lot of questions in terms of Tariq's return, the timeline, and what happens next. I also have questions around what happens in New York, because the last time we left Tariq in New York, he was in control over the machine. He had his organization on lock, just like Tommy has Chicago. There's also questions around Tommy being dead in New York, what are the storylines, any returning characters, and who could be the threats. That also includes law enforcement, for example, Blanca Rodriguez and Jenny Sullivan. Gary Lennon did speak about this particular topic, so I will be going through those quotes a bit later on. Same thing goes for characters like Davis MacLean. We know there will be trouble with law enforcement, that we can definitely guarantee. So why not have someone like Davis MacLean to protect Tommy and Tariq? So definitely a lot to unpack with this particular topic around Tommy and Tariq returning to New York. So stick with this video right through to the very end as we dissect, I guess, all things Power Legacy. Now, in terms of Tariq's return in the world of Power and in Chicago, I do think we need to address the timeline. It's a question that definitely gets always asked in the comment section, and Gary Lennon did speak about this when he spoke to Nigeria on Big Gold Belt Media, where he mentioned the following. Because of the phone call at the end of Ghost, where Tariq makes the call, and in our finale we answer the other side of that question, the timeline is where our show picks up right when that goes. Our finale is the last episode of Ghost. So pretty straightforward. For Season 3 Episode 10 coincides with around the end of Ghost Season 4 when Tariq received the call in the end credit scene. And it does also make sense for the phone call to have been Tommy. There was a lot of speculation at the time who it could be. Could it be Kane, Diana, Braden? But the fact that Tariq mentioned they were family, which was echoed by Joseph Sikora, the combination of Tariq and Tommy, it was the right call to make. But in terms of his return, it really was a timely return because it did look like they needed his backup. Miguel said they were short on numbers, and that's where Tommy made the call. With Tariq returning in a moment where Tommy was almost done. He was cornered by the Marquez cartel and CBI, and just when you thought it could have been over for Tommy, in comes Tariq to save the day. Now after that, I do think Tariq did look a little out of place in Chicago. It was great to see him back, don't get me wrong, great to see Tariq back on screen, but I did think he looked a little out of place in Chicago. I get why they did what they did. If they were getting maybe a Season 4, I do think Episode 9 would have been the perfect finale to finish on, leading into a Season 4. With the way it was written, you could tell Gary Lennon was leaving a lot of loose threads open, for example the Chinese storyline, as if they were getting a Season 4. But once they were told around the Episode 4 mark when they were filming that this was the final season, they had to finish up on all the storylines and also set up what comes next, which is Power Legacy.